Hey everybody, clearing. All right, this is going to be a divine feminine check-in, and we are going to look at what do the DFs need to know about receptivity, being receptive on this journey and being receptive to their masculine. So thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest, most beneficial information coming through. What can we see for the DFs that join me here regarding becoming more receptive on the journey as people and to their masculine? What are the emotions, the emotional indicators, markers associated with the various levels of awareness we're going to look at for the journey here? What do the feminines need to know about how their receptivity on all these levels affects their masculine? And what can we see for what the masculines would say to the feminines about how they're being affected by the process of their feminine becoming more feminine and receptive? Okay. Conscious mind about the journey as far as it relates to being receptive. Okay, so we're getting opening of the subconscious and a twin flame, Two of Wands, letting it unfold naturally. But you know, each counterpart represents one of these wands, and look at how as it grounds they align, bringing it from the violet purple of the crown chakra into the root, the red of grounding it. And so as we come into this merge, into this alignment, we go from the energetic to the grounding of it, and our subconscious is opened so that we are not outside the mystery of the femininity. So receptivity helps the feminine open the deepest, on the deepest levels, and to trust and be guided into grounding this into the physical. So this is basically saying, feminines, this is up to you to regulate the rate of progress here in your connection by being attuned to the intuition that's guiding you each step of the way, and to the level of depth that you can be met on. You get to, I want to say, affirm, receive love to the degree that you're able to. And so that's an inside job. You as the feminine must open, receive authentically at the level that you desire in order to feel fulfilled. Interesting. You ground this and you open based on your free will, your desire, your growth, your progress. What is the emotion associated with this? Empathy. I'm open to seeing both sides of a situation. It's a tandem effort. So your masculine opens you. Your masculine, I'm hearing things like foreplay and energetic foreplay, or compatibility, honor, respect, valid energy, that it's warranted, it's justified, trust. So it's not something that you can manufacture. This is something that happens through empathy, compassion, understanding. It takes one to know one. You have to be aware of the depths of you. You have to be aware of your side of the energy in order for you to know if it's warranted. So empathy, seeing both aspects, the inner, the outer, the feminine, the masculine, the cause and effect, the desire and the opportunity. You have to be aware of both sides of the energy in order to be qualified to know if you are being met on those deep levels, if it is justified for you to desire to be met by any particular person. When we're in developmental stages, we feel like we're turned on by someone because they're hot. We want them. As we deepen in our awareness of self, we need a little bit more than that. And so we have to unlearn so many of the things that we are conditioned and programmed to think of in relationships. And we actually have to see and value the person that we are letting in on these soul levels in order for it to feel fulfilling. So feminines, you need to know what would fulfill you, what is aligned for you, what are your preferences, what do you love, what do you desire? You need to know what that is in order to know if that's what you're being given. To have eyes to see it. What can we see for the masculines? How this affects the masculines. They're poised and curious, whether you see them for who they are, whether you think they can give you what you need. That is an ages-old thing that happens in connections when masculines will say, when you get to a certain level of intimacy, all masculines will say, can I give you what you need? I don't know if I can give you what you need or want. Feminines, this is for you to feel worthy to receive what it is you actually specifically want and need, and to know how to allow your masculine in on what that would be for you. So you essentially teach others how to treat you, and if your idea of fun isn't their idea of fun, you're not compatible. You know what I mean? So feminines, your masculine is curious. What would be your idea of fun? Your masculine would say to you, let me have you. They want you. They want to be your masculine. They also want to know how that would look for you, what that would be like, how that would satisfy you, how that would delight you. They want to know these things about you so that they can have you successfully. They want success. They will get cold feet, back off, pause, if they do not feel like that's available. If they're confused, if it's ambiguous, if they are being criticized, if they are not appreciated, if they don't know where they stand, if they don't know how to belong in your energy, they will feel it's a misalignment and they will concede their efforts. What can we see for feminine's receptivity regarding the specific person that you're watching this for? Integration and epiphanies. Okay. So there is a pause in the energy, or was in the recent past, and things can get moving a little bit more right now. So as far as you being receptive, you have to be open to the heartache being healed. You have to be willing to put down any kind of misconceptions, animosity, competition, lack, scarcity. You have to be able to let the past be in the past and chalk it up to growth and learning. You have to genuinely see the benefit in things that have been tricky or sticky in the past, moving into calmer waters. You have to desire progress with this person in order to be receptive to them. If you are in a developmental stage where you don't desire peace, where you are hardened, where you're jaded, where you are in a closed off energy and you are in ego, you're not going to be receptive to allowing what has happened inform you as lessons. You're not going to be ready for the next cycle to come in if you haven't integrated those lessons fully and allowed them to bring you newfound joy, newfound empowerment. When you can learn from what has happened and get the aha moments and epiphanies from it, the energy can move forward. But you have to be receptive, willing and able poised for more in order for that to come to you. You're generating your experience of reality. If you're not in a place where you genuinely want to experience what comes next with your specific counterpart, you won't be given that opportunity. No matter how much you are trying to convince yourself, energy doesn't lie. So if you're not actually understanding what went off the tracks in a previous cycle, you won't get forward motion with this specific person until you recognize what you needed to for your betterment. Recognize the blessing that you were given. What is the emotion associated with this? Purpose. I know what I am here to do. Right. Until you have clarity, until you have understanding, until you know what the cycle was for, it won't deepen into what comes next because it will fall underappreciated. And so you have to understand the purpose of why you're being brought together, what the journey is affording you in order to be accountable with getting, more levels of the journey. You have to know that it's the purpose. It's not simply, relationship is not simply to have and to hold and to own and to call somebody ours because we don't want to be alone, or because it's serving a purpose, or because we're getting something out of it that is less than soul honoring. Growth is the purpose. And so if you can pinpoint what the specific benefits, the specific ways in which your life is being enriched, that you're grateful for, you will be given further opportunity to deepen in those meaningful ways. That is the integration that allows you to become increasingly receptive to this specific person. And it also is one of the key ways you can know what this person genuinely contributes to your journey, to your life, to the betterment of your life. What would your masculine say to you, or how does this affect your masculine? This shows them alignment. This shows them that they are indeed able to give you what you need. When you appreciate that you understand the value in your connection, the meaning in your connection, their eyes are open to it too, because you express your gratitude, you acknowledge, and they can see then through all the confusion, the meaning, the belonging, the relevance of the two of you and of them in your life. This helps them justify their existence in your life. You are designing your reality. If something actually doesn't add value to your life, why do you want it there? And so you can be proactive by pinpointing exactly what that value is for you and expressing appreciation for that. This opens your masculine's eyes to the ways that they can further contribute in a meaningful way. What would they say to you about this? Let me hold you. Let me have you. Let me hold you. This brings them closer. This draws them nigh. We've got a 7 and a 7. So I'm hearing rest assured. Your masculine wants to please you. They want to give you. They want to pour into you. They want to add this value in your life. They just want to know how. They just want to be able to hold you in that safe container that adds value, that adds meaning. They don't want to be there if you don't appreciate them. It's very, very basic. It's fundamental. So if you're not seeing progress, they might not be somebody that is authentically bringing value because it might not be aligned for you. If you do appreciate them, it's time to shift your focus from what you perceive as not working to what you do appreciate. I'm hearing that coaxes miracles out of the energy instantaneously, because when you're in that heightened frequency, up in that realm of gratitude, unconditional love, miracles are possible. It's the open potentiality. It's no longer vibrating at a suffering level, which is limitation, lack, competition, shortage. And so when you know what brings aliveness and energy, your masculine knows how to hold you. I'm seeing dance partners. What can we see for receptivity on the heart space about the energy or the connections in general? High Priestess and Presence. This card came out in every single personal read that I did today. You've got to know it deep in your soul, this present receptive energy in the moment, not woulda, coulda, shoulda, or hope, wish, dream for the future, but right here, right now. You need to know yourself well enough to know any given step, any given moment, what is well with your soul. What are you here for? What is this relevance? What is the joy, the delight that you realistically desire to be in gratitude for right here, right now? Can you, in this very moment, be grateful for this connection, your masculine, your growth, your journey? That is about being receptive, radical receptivity to what is right now. When you get it, when it clicks for you, that is the building block that ushers in more of the same. That's the alignment that you want to be in to be accountable for the abundance that wants to come to you. What is the emotion connected with this? Worry. I'm learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. Right. You can stew about things in the moment, but you're going to miss an opportunity to be wholeheartedly satiated, satisfied, fulfilled. If you're not in gratitude, if you're in worry, you're missing the blessing in this now moment. Counting your blessings right here, right now, no destination. Embodiment. I've been saying it in private reads today that it's easy to be multidimensional. We don't even consciously recognize how many times we time travel, pop in and out of different dimensions, teleport, levitate. We're all over the place energetically. When we're in the past, we're in the future, we're thinking about this XYZ, we're not present in the moment. Mastery, the reason mastery is presence is because you have to control yourself. You have to master yourself and your energy to be cohesive in the moment, to be present, to be here, to not be distracted by anything. I even have said today that Jesus walked on water because Jesus was not even distracted by the agreement that water isn't something you can stand on in this dimension. You know, when you're fully present in yourself, nothing outside of yourself holds power over you. That is mastery. And we have to rein our own energy in from across the dimensions. Multidimensionality is the easy, lazy thing. To be a master in this physical form is to be present. And that takes discipline, that takes skill, that takes practice. Worrying is a resistance and a wedge to being receptive to what is here in any given moment. And to be deeply fulfilled in any given moment, we have to be receptive to exactly what is here right now. How does this affect your masculine? This shows them what is justified and warranted. This shows them how much contribution they can apply in any given time. If you're present, you are alert and receptive to their advances. You are able to see how they are offering to you in any given moment. If you're not present, it will go off your radar what they are bringing. The more aware of what you're grateful for in the moment, the more finely tuned your masculine can be to fulfilling that sense of belonging, or I don't want to say need, but that's the word that's coming, that niche. They can click if you're present and aware of what it is you desire everything can be magnetized towards you in a way that is relevant to you, feminines. Again, though, this is also the feminine aspect within a more masculine expressing person. There is still this attribute within the masculine as well about being receptive. We have both within us. What would the masculines say to the feminines about this receptivity in the present moment on the heart space, and how these connections have been cultivating the ability to be present and receptive to each other in the moment? I imagine you naked. That's gorgeous energy, because you think of the romance and the sensual connection coming in when we're accountable for the agenda-free, I guess, more platonic energies. When we actually are able to be grateful, we get led into this intimate holy of holies where we can express on a more cosmic, surrendered, sensual, primordial, safe, entrusted, mutual, spiritually backed and emotionally warranted, consensual, energetically consensual experience of exchanging energy. That presence, no masks, no pretending, that is the alignment you want to be in to go into this sexual union and to have that fire connection of the polar masculine and feminine. When we have worry, busy mind, distraction, going through the motions, pretending, not being authentic, our sexual encounters are not as fulfilling. We don't reach the ecstatic levels that we would otherwise be able to connect on if we're not in the moment fully, if we're spread too thin. And so when you coalesce into this coherent wholeness, your masculine's attraction for you ramps up. They're infinitely drawn with the 8 to you in a sensual way. They start feeling that soul pull, and their sexual attraction ramps up. What can we see specifically for the masculines, for these feminines on the heart space, the receptivity for their person? So as you cultivate a discipline of receptivity, where you're not in wounding that compensates. We've got the abandonment trigger here, the original separation wound, the abandonment wound. When you are doing the work to create your own wholeness, your own sense of safety, you are receptive in the deepest layers of your core to enjoy connection with a conscious lover. When you do the work to bring yourself into balance, emotional equilibrium on your heart of hearts, you have taken responsibility for your safety, so you're not putting yourself in a misaligned scenario. On the heart of hearts, your counterpart, your aligned one, is your most sacred mirror, because they are the one that you reflect and can measure off of your readiness on the heart space to be fearless in love. On the heart of hearts, your aligned one inspires you to do the work, to refine, and to come into safety. They are the one that reflects, mirrors back to you where you're at with that. So as you're receptive to that growth, it brings up the last remaining triggers, the last remaining fears. So this particular person if you can allow without resistance to see what's coming up in your heart of hearts, you can have an impeccable connection forged through trust and truth with your counterpart. What is the emotion connected? Pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. Yeah, when you love yourself into safety and wholeness and balance, you can see that namaste, the divinity, the worthiness in yourself, and therefore you have eyes to see that in your person, and you know when they're in that coming correct energy, when it is appropriate to celebrate the connection. And on the heart of hearts, this is where you don't settle on any level, where you don't delude yourself. And this is where, when you are in the awareness of alignment, you can have ecstatic release, receptivity, connection, where you're just one with everything. The Tantra. How does this affect the masculines? This is where they don't feel a hot and cold ghosting, fickle energy. If you do the work to be free from strife on the heart space, accountable, credible, trustworthy, solid, secure in yourself, your person is exponentially drawn to meeting you on that level. And if they are not able to meet you at this time, or they are not willing, it's not a rejection or a blow to your ego. You then can just have compassion for self and other, that it's not warranted, it's not justified to meet on those levels. And by not taking it personally, you can stay open and receptive to when it does align without prejudice. And then the masculines are safe to aspire into being free from imposter syndrome, and they can clean up their lives to become more of a clear expression of their greatest potential. This shows them on the deepest, most intimate levels how to bring out the best in them and the best in you. It's the journey. This is the clearing on the heart space. This is also saying that these divine feminines that watch my readings are very close to finding the ultimate truth of this and seeing their masculine come in with commitment as well. Because there's no more games playing, no more blame, victim, no more fickle energy, no more confusion. Clarity. The work that's being done foundationally is justifying this pure connection. What would the masculines say? You matter, but it's in the inverse. They're realizing how divine, special, important they are. They're understanding they matter, that you love yourself and them so much. You love yourself so much as to say, I deserve the best. And in turn, you are showing them that you value them as somebody who is potentially the best, that you see that in them, and they're realizing how special that makes them feel, how treasured they are, how sacred that is. When you're receptive to only what you are worth and what you deserve, impeccably. That is a high honor for your masculine. And they, in turn, also see how blessed they are. That you would desire to hold them accountable to be in that resonance of the ideal, of true love. What a sacred honor then you bestow on any masculine that you allow to enter into your heart of hearts, into your body, into your energy, because you know what you're worth. You have to be receptive to love in order to know that you deserve it, and in order to not settle, feminines. Oh, what can we see for the manifestations the feminines are experiencing, desiring, regarding receptivity? Oh wow, the Emperor and the High Priestess. Receptivity allows for false constructs and control paradigms to be dropped, because there is a knowing, and action is only taken in so much as it says yes or no regarding whether or not something is up to par. If something is valued, if it is worthy, if it is contributing value and worth to the feminine, there is a yes, which is receptive. So we're here for it. As feminines, we are here for things that we don't have to dictate, preach to, convince, sell. We're here for the things that are in alignment. We do have to take a little bit of proactive action to position ourselves in receptivity. That means we have to do the work to know what that is for us. What does it for us? What we benefit from experiencing, or what is relevant in any given moment. And then we just say a wholehearted yes or no from that space of understanding and knowing. And therefore it just is energy. It's nothing personal. It is a frequency that we are aligning with or not in resonance with. And so the feminines want to manifest here resonance, relevance only, and not discord. What's the emotion? Honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. So this is a act of receptivity that is proactive. That feminines, it's up to you to know what is acceptable and warranted and desired and preferred. That's on you to be discerning enough to understand what is honestly a fit for you, and then to say yes to those things that are aligned and no to those things that aren't. How does this affect your masculine? It calms their anxiety because they get a trustworthy surety from you. What would they say to you? I'm in so much pain. So they would now be free to express that when they're not in the alignment that you desire and are worthy of, that it's their pain, their need for healing. They're now safe to make it about them and to honor what they need, rather than risking offending you or looking like the bad guy, or, having this instability brought in. They can now express their shortcomings. They can be transparent. They can let you know that the only reason that they're not coming forward in this kind of open transparency is if they are still needing to heal. And that can be a compassionate awareness in you, feminines, when you're receptive and honoring yourself and what you need in the moment you're not settling. It allows for the sovereign experience of reality from your person. And they would say to you, they would begin to open up and talk to you about what's going on for them that is truly their side of the energy, that is their karma, that is their lessons, that is their experience, that is not your part of the energy. They can show you who they really are in their entirety, even the undesirable or painful parts. And you won't make it a rejection of you, and you won't take it personally. It won't trigger you. You can now hold space for them without agenda. What can we see for the actions the feminines are being guided with regarding receptivity? The feminines are being guided to allow the friendship, the unconditional love in these connections to deepen into romantic love and purpose. The feminines are receptive to it growing from here. The feminines in receptivity allow for what is, in a practical sense, so that we're not missing steps, rushing, getting beyond ourselves, getting ahead of what is warranted, and being ever present to the reality of the shared energy, the developmental stage. So it's not wishful thinking, so that it's grounded, accurate, honoring, respectful, loving, compassionate, exciting, promising, adventurous. This is where the feminine's receptivity can show up for what is possible and deepen naturally without agenda or trying to force it to be something it's not. So this is the action that the feminine's receptivity can promote, is unfolding naturally. What is the emotion connected? Loneliness. I know that I'm never alone. So part of that desire to rush, to overcompensate, to pressure is a compensation for feeling alone. But when we know that we are not in this alone, that it takes two, that it's a tandem effort, that it's a sacred honor, that it's not by chance that these beautiful masculines that we're associated with are our primary lens, our primary focus, we see that all of a sudden we're not in this alone. It's not just one-sided. It's a process. It's a unfolding together. It takes both to have the shared experience. When we see ourselves as in it with this person, regardless of the definitions or what it looks like from the outside, when we look at it from a lens of growth, we see it takes two, and that if there is not mutual growth, we're not here for it. But if there can be value, progress, growth together, and we can pinpoint what that looks like, what that is, how that's happening, or where it's occurring, we can shift our focus from an agenda to being receptive to what it is bringing in, what is unfolding. We can see with accuracy the value at face value, the contribution in our life. When we get out of our own way and the feeling of isolation and the feeling that we are separate, we suddenly see it in a different context. What does this do for the masculines? It tips them off to the mercy, humility, compassion of their feminine, and it inspires them. It inspires them to see a spiritually realized feminine in all their glory, and it warrants their love, a reverence. They see you in your full potential. They see that aspect of you that is mighty. That is the epitome of mastery for a feminine. The high priestess is the spiritually ascended feminine. All of the attributes of the queen, of all the queens, of all the suits, and the empress. This is the spiritually included empress. And so your masculine sees you as set apart. When you are receptive on this journey and free from agenda and projection, as best as you can, your masculine sees you in that ascended form. What would they say to you about this? I don't think we should see other people. They don't need other options. They've found the best one. And do you even see me that way? When you're in your ascended form, it reflects back to them that they're in their ascended form, and they don't have to guess if they can give you what you need or if they're a match for you. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And when they can see you in that pure state, they are suddenly aware of their purity and their beauty, because they are witnessing you in that light. In that moment, it's timeless. It is beyond outside need. And it is the two. All other energies drop off. And they only have eyes for you, I just heard. And so when you know you're never alone, you are inclusive to your masculine, and you're brought into that holy of holies, that intimate central sun, the empowerment where you don't need options, where they don't need anything else, where they are here for this evolutionary galactic experience of love. What is the biggest challenge for these feminines about receptivity? Uncharted territory, channeling, seeing it revealed in real time without knowing where it's going or what it's all for, except for the present experience moment to moment. What is the emotion connected with that? Happiness. I'm aware that being happy means I'm on the right path. So the challenge is being responsible for our own happiness every step of the way. The discernment of whether we are in a happy alignment, a balanced alignment, a peaceful alignment. Happiness is balance. When we are in profound gratitude for peace and balance, it's so bright it's blinding, so loud it's deafening, so happy it's chill. And so peace is ultimate Om, happiness, presence, stillness, receptivity. What can we see for how this affects the masculines? Unconditional love. No agendas, nothing to prove or convince. They can just show up and be. They can just be in your energy, and all is well with their soul, all is well in the cosmos. That bell tone ring. Be here now, be peaceful. And what would they say to you? They're addicted to you. This is such an exhilarating focus. When you are focused on your own happiness, they just want to be near that. They just want to be around that. When that is exuded from you, they literally can't get enough, nor do they want to. They want to be a part of it. And they know that it's safe to, that they're not going to lose themselves. They drop the fear at how much they're drawn to you, and they allow themselves to honor the intensity of what they feel for you. When you're responsible for your own happiness, they don't feel like they have to create that for you, that is where they can just lose their ego and join you in it. Be careful for those who haven't done the work. You are responsible for your own happiness. So if your masculine or a masculine you're connected with comes in and it doesn't feel good to you, if they are somehow draining or taking your energy, even if they're coming in, the goal is not to have a masculine come in, but for the connection to feel balanced. And so, like a moth to a flame, when you are in your wholeness, you will attract a lot of individuals who also are drawn to that example. So be discerning as well. If you are having mutual benefit, if it is mutual, feminines, because there are others in the energy that I can feel that will be coming forward. So many will have more than one person drawn. You will have to be discerning, selective with what you really do desire and feel in the highest, that is of most benefit, because not only your aligned one, but many other masculine energies will be drawn and will be learning from the frequency of your knowing. And this does benefit many masculines, for you to demonstrate and live and embody your truth like this. It does act as an example for masculines that are not your masculine to also understand and feel into and see what clarity looks like, what receptivity, what mastery looks like for a feminine. Other masculines who are not your aligned one will also be drawn. And so be discerning. And that doesn't mean you have to be on guard. It just means being selective with that fine-tuning of energy, being in grace. What can we see for the solution for this challenge? Keeping an open mind and knowing that you are in control of everything you perceive and manifest. You have control of the strings to pull when things seem like they're at a standstill. It's so that there's a pause in the energy for you to decide how you're viewing things and what you want to do. This is your accountability. Anything is possible. So this is the solution, is knowing that you are running your experience of reality. You're setting your standards. You are settling or allowing, are receptive to what you desire to manifest. If you say yes prematurely or in a way that is not genuine, that's on you. If you say no, be really aware of why you've said no. There's often wisdom in that. But make sure that when you say no, you mean it. And when you say yes, you mean it. What is the emotion? Change. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. Exactly. So when we're in the Hanged Man, it feels like the universe has us in a headlock. We have to not acknowledge what we deem as relevant in order to be poised to receive what will come next. When we're at a pause, it's because we haven't gained the clarity, the wisdom, the understanding needed to take the next steps yet. So there's no rush. It's all at the speed that we can each integrate. But it's up to you. You regulate how much you're ready to experience based on how conscious you are, how aware you are in any given moment, how receptive you are to the things that are of value going forward. That determines how quickly things evolve and move. You're regulating that, feminines. How is this affecting the masculines? It is actually regulating the speed of their approach. With the amount of clarity that you can have about what you're ready, willing, and able to experience, that's how full steam ahead your masculine, your aligned one, can be. What would they say to you about this? Oh, do you even care? So this is about loving sensitively. When you are not in the awareness of what you are here for, your masculine can't fit into your manifestation, and they will feel like you're falling short of or slacking off in some regard if you're not conscientious enough to be accountable. These masculines want to be in your life. They want to know how to please you, feminines. They want to know how to pour into you. If you don't know that, they're saying, hey, hun, you could do better. You can have more happiness. You can be proactive. And sometimes they reflect back that maybe you're not being sensitive enough. Remember, you have the ability to feel in grounded, realistic, productive ways. You have the ability to balance your emotional equilibrium. You can bring yourself back into center. You can snap out of imbalances and be accountable for that. And this is a very stark way of saying it, but the masculines are wanting to be in a momentum with you. And they're like, feminine, wake up. Wow. What is the direction in the near future that this feminine receptivity can promote? King of Swords in the inverse. So it can promote greater understanding. It can initiate a new cycle where the feminines actually see their empowerment, their worth, their ability, their own truth without deferring to an external truth. Where's that card of honesty again? Oh, I don't know where it is. I thought it came out. Yeah. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. So shift the focus, feminines, back to your truth. Not what you are deferring or wondering or waiting for to see from your masculine. Figure out what is relevant for you to receive and experience and put that out there. And watch it come to you when you're clear on that. What is the emotion that is associated? Growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. So focus on self and your growth edge. What are you ready for? Pinpoint it. How does this affect your masculine? The Empress, the abundance. It shows them where they can take things to the next level. It shows them where to invest and what goals can be strived for, what progress they can invest in making. How they can conspire to support and contribute. What would they say? I'm open to compromise. They want to show up. They want to find win-win. They want to contribute in ways that are meaningful to you. When we don't know our worth, we think, who would bother, who would want to? And when we do know what we're worth, what we deserve, we allow for opportunities for that to come. Remember again, though, we have this in all of us, and it is a giving and receiving. This is part of that reciprocity where we have to allow and be proactive in the right proportion to position ourselves in a readiness to receive. We have to be discerning. We are manifesting our reality by being accountable for this. Okay, many blessings, everyone. Bye for now.